remember when I remember the hip hop conversation that we were having, and this was probably when I was what was I? I might have been a junior. Maybe I was a junior.
My
But
last year was your junior year.
exactly what you were saying about Talib Kweli, Mos Def, and Common. I was gonna say that. I had my hand up, and you said it, and I was like, "That motherfucker man read my thoughts, man."
Well, I am here with the man, the myth, the legend, Jay Pharoah, comedian, impressionist, all around Renaissance man. And for folks who may not remember, or why would you remember? You may not know, in another life, I was a high school teacher in Chesapeake, Virginia. And the high
Yep.
school that I taught at, Indian River High School, one of our best alumni is Mr. Jay Pharoah. And you have a special that's coming out. Well, you did a special with Meta, the Soapstone Comedy virtual one we're going to talk about. You did another special on YouTube, your second special, named Jared, and you kind of took away like one of my like party tricks where I used to tell people, I know Jay Pharoah's real name. I'm one of the few people, but not everybody does. So welcome
this is
to the podcast.
this is payback. This is payback for the lyrical talk.
Yeah, you can call me Keith. You don't gotta call me Mr. Chow. That would be weird.
Okay, cool. All right, cool. Good to see you, Keith, brother.
Is that weird? Is that weird? Like
it feels weird because I just remember. It's cool though. I could do it. You asked me, I'll do it.
Definitely haven't had a conversation with a former student in a long time, but welcome. I mean, I mean it. Like I remember when you were like a snot nose over at Indian River High School, and to come talk to you now almost 20 years later, and you're like one of the best comedians in the world, clearly the best impressionist in the world.
Hey man, like, I appreciate that, brother. There's been a lot of copying out there. I'll tell you that. But the original cake always tastes the best. When it's multi-produced, there's always a little bit of lesson in it, as I call it, of flavor and distinction. But it's all good. I love it all, man. I see all these TikTok folks pop up and do their thing. I ain't got nothing but good words to say about people, so I don't degrade anybody. I don't speak to the degradation of anybody, man. I'm always.
Well, no, I mean, you grinded because we're actually coming up on the 15th. I don't know if you do realize this. We're coming up on the 15th anniversary of the post you put on YouTube where you're doing Denzel and Will talking to each other.
That's crazy.
That was in February 2010, and that's I think your first video that blew up. Because I remember seeing that on YouTube and go, wait, isn't that the kid that I taught in high school? So like that's that's when I was like, okay, this Jay Pharoah cat is legit, and he's gonna be. And you booked like SNL like a couple months after that.
Yeah, it was literally when the SNL happened. That's September,
fall, right?
That's September, man. It was that quick. I remember telling my cousin, my cousin Alicia, who I grew up with, I'm super close with. I remember telling her, I don't feel like in July, I told her, I said, I don't feel like I'm gonna be here too much longer. And she was like, what do you mean? I was like, I mean alive, but like not living here.
Just calling the logic suicide number.
She was like, my cousin has problems. Was it that bad growing up? Like, nah, man. But for real, I felt it in my bones, and then it happened. There was so much at that time, and still, like, I've come back into it, but there was so much speaking and praying on things and it happening like that. You know what I mean? I used to go to this spot in Chesapeake where it was right it's right behind Quarter Mill, the neighborhood. Dang, why am I telling people that? They're probably gonna go now.
We'll bleep that out.
You don't have to. It's fine. Like, I don't live there no more. You have to catch me. You really have to go there every day if you're gonna try to catch me there.
Right,
you never know. But I used to go there and I used to just talk to God. I literally would talk to God and I would just ask him to, like, whatever's happening, just prepare me for it. I don't know how I'm gonna get on SNL, but I wanna go up. I wanna be up there. I didn't know how to be up there, man. I'm a kid from Chesapeake, Virginia, who's I went on the road with Charlie Murphy at 19, and I thought that was SNL for me. That was, that opportunity that I got. But it just all worked out when you really just keep doing what you're doing. And I'll tell you this story too. I was in Burlington Coat Factory in 2008. And, I was really getting down on myself. I was like, man, maybe I should just quit. I should just quit doing stand-up. And somebody came through the line and they said, hey, I don't know. He said, I don't know why, but he said, the spirit of God just told me to tell you to not quit. Everything that you want to get is about to happen for you. You just have to stay on the path. And I was like, oh, and then I looked up. I looked down, looked up. That person was gone. I was like, yo, what is happening? But it all worked out, brother. So hey,
and here you are later. Was it now? It's been, like you said, almost 15 years since that time on Saturday Night Live. You did 6 seasons. I mean, and you left a mark on Saturday Night Live because you were an impressionist. The impressionists on Saturday Night Live are always one of the people remember. You played the president. Like, that's another thing that, like, everybody remembers. Will Ferrell. Everyone remembers Dana Carvey. You did Obama. Absolutely. So you were the guy who did the president when you were on the show. You were the black guy on Saturday Night Live. There's not many of y'all either. So, like, you left a mark when you're on Saturday Night Live. And I want to get back to the Indian River piece. One of your original characters was our principal, Mr. Frye. And you've had a chance to, like, talk to him over the years, ever since you turned him into a Saturday Night Live character. What's that been like?
Yeah, well, even before I did this sketch, I asked him if it was cool with him for me to, portray him nationally. And I just remember him saying, well, I didn't even know that I was that comical, but however, if you want to portray me, my son, whatever you want to do, my baby, because you my baby, you can do whatever you want to do. But I didn't even know I was that comical. But come on, let's go ahead and do that. Go ahead and do that. And then it became a thing, and I got a chance to do that on that show 6 times. I remember 6 times I did Principal Frye, and every time it got crazier and crazier, and to the point where it was like I was popping from the bottom of the screen. I pop into the camera, but that speaks to my type of humor, because when I used to play Mortal Kombat, one of the funniest things to me was uppercut. I used to uppercut people just so that white face would come out, like and pop back out. Like, it was so funny to me, so getting a chance to kind of take that sense of humor and marry it with Principal Frye's zany announcements. Like, it was the perfect
attention teachers and students. That was
attention teachers and students. Which, if you don't remember, and you probably do because you were there. It was 9/11, and Principal Frye got on the loudspeaker.
That was my first week teaching at Indian River. Was 9/11.
That was your first week?
My first week.
Wow. Yeah, me. Hey, it was my first week too. That was the freshman.
That's right. You were a freshman. My first year, you were a freshman. So
I was a freshman, and I was in Miss Garrett's class. Miss Garrett, she's so fine. It was Miss Garrett, so fine. I mean, she's still fine to this day. Very beautiful lady. I know she's married, but still, she's a very beautiful lady. Whatever. She's beautiful. Right. But Principal Frye got on the loudspeaker. He was like, attention teachers and students, I've just got word that the World Trade Centers have just been bombed. Now, there's a lot of students who have family members in the New York City area. What we're going to do is we're going to have a moment of silence. And while he's having this moment of silence, you could just hear him grieving and breathing the whole time. Oh, my Lord Jesus.
I shouldn't laugh, but that's like, you just brought back a memory that's like still there.
I'm just, it wasn't supposed to be funny, but I'm sitting there, I'm conflicted because I'm hearing comedy, but the situation is so heavy. I'm just
that needs to be that. If you ever do a Principal Frye movie, I don't know if that's in the works, but that's got to be in there. Hey, man, tell me if this is something that I might have made up, or if this actually. Didn't you get on the announcements one time impersonating Mr. Frye, or did I imagine that?
I think I got up there senior day and did it, but that might have been when you left, though. Yeah. I don't know. They might have had me. Yes, you know what? I did do it a couple of times. They had
like you did.
They had me go up, and they were like, "It's so good." They were like, "We're gonna let you do the announcements," and I do it as Principal Frye, and people be laughing. Yeah, I did that. I did that a couple of times. Wow, I forgot all
See, I
about.
wasn't sure. Like, am I imagining that? Is
Nah,
that a dream that I had, or did that
nah,
actually happen? I feel like I
no,
told people you did that though, so
nah. That
I'm
that
spreading that
definitely
rumor either way. But as a impressionist, I mean, that was something that you've done since you were a little kid. I've read things where you said like, you know, you were doing Gilbert Godfrey from Aladdin, and
6 years old.
you know, Coming to America, you were doing Eddie Murphy already. So like,
6 years old.
when did you like? How did that? Because I've always been fascinated by impressionists. Like, how do you realize or decide I'm going to like talk like other people? Like, how does that
Well,
even happen?
well, I like girls at an early age, and so when I was 6 years old, my ex-girlfriend now, she of course she's not with me anymore. She told me I would watch Disney, and I was always infatuated with Robin Williams and the way that he was. As a matter of fact, sometimes the energy on stage that I have, people say comparatively, it's either to a Eddie Murphy or like a Robin Williams type thing,
Right.
whatever. You know what I'm saying? Or both of them together, which is a great which is a great fusion. Shout out to Dragon Ball. You know what I'm saying? Do the fusion dance, do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Get together. But I was so infatuated with Robin Williams. I was watching everything he did, and I saw Aladdin, and it was Iago the parrot. That was like, and he was doing all types of crazy stuff. But when I heard that parrot, I was like, yo, I might be able to do this. And I did it, and it was pretty good. And my shorty told me to listen, don't stop doing it. And here we are, years later, 31 years later. I've been doing impressions for 31 years. But as far as like being able to identify who you can do, there's never like I never feel like there's somebody that I can't get. You know what I mean? I always be at least 75% there or something. But you just, first of all, I gotta be a fan of the person. Like
Mm-hmm.
if I'm a fan, like it's a wrap. You know what I mean? Like because I paid attention to your ticks and everything. So I pay attention. I watch your shows, or I'm just in total admiration of you. The only person I'm probably not in admiration of that I do an impression of is probably Donald Trump, and that's
Right.
just because it is what it is. But to some degree, hey, Trump is hilarious, and I gotta say that he's just a funny character, so you can't not do him.
I mean, he's
You know what I
literally a
mean?
clown. He's literally a clown.
There you go. Like you literally you have to do him.
Makeup and
And
everything. Like, he's straight up the Joker. So
he's absolutely the Joker. It's amazing. They're eating your cats, they're eating the dogs, they're eating the pets. They're turning your pets into hush puppies. I like the hands. I like the sensei hands he got. Them be the best. When he be going like this, he starts dancing like
yeah,
this.
with
Like
the jack off dance. Yeah,
he's
yeah.
jacking off. He's jacking off the air. It's just great,
Now
man.
it's
It's
like
great.
trending on TikTok, which is wild. Everybody's doing this shit now, so I don't get
Yeah,
it.
they
Like,
should put. They should take. They not like us and put it behind that and just have Trump go.
oh yeah, where's
That'd be
the
hilarious.
Kendrick? You did Kendrick for a while, like, but like, is that
That's,
still in the repertoire?
oh, I still got Kendrick. Freaky ass nigga here, 69 God. Run for your life. You think I'm gonna let you rip disrespect pot, nigga? I got all,
Yeah,
it's just one of
it
those.
just comes out. It's like impression Tourette's you get sometimes, right?
Yeah, him like Papoose. It's Papoose with the great goose and the barrier. I drink beverages for all of my carriers. Like, I have them. You know what I'm saying?
Was it, I mean, you've been doing it since you were a kid, and then like,
Yeah.
were the hip hop artists the first ones you started impersonating after you like grew out of Disney, or was it like the comedians? Like, how
Yeah.
did you like, what was some of the earlier voices outside of like the Disney stuff that you started
I
realizing like
think
I
it
could
was
do this?
I think it was Jay-Z and Biggie. Jay-Z, Biggie, Ludacris, T.I., 50 Cent. 50 was when I was a teenager. But I
Yeah,
say like Jay-Z came. I always had like a lighter register where I can go to. I mean, I could go deep too, but like most of the time I registered, it stays like up here, whatever. So it was Jay-Z, it was Biggie. I heard Big L, Cassidy. Oh, that Cassidy was a big yo, if pipe your habit, I'll holler. I'll price and bag it. get powder every hour like diaper rashes. Like
well,
I used to, yeah.
I'm sound like an old head for a second because we started this. You were talking about how we used to talk about like Common and most back in like the early 90s, the mid 90s hip hop. And I feel like a lot of hip hop artists nowadays kind of all sound the same. So is it hard to like mimic like, because like everyone you're mimicking has a voice, a very distinct voice. But now all the kind of like, mumble rap, mumblecore stuff, is it hard to like identify a voice nowadays?
The bulk of them, I don't even impersonate the bulk of them like your Trippy Reds. I do Kodak, bro. Like I do Kodak. I do Kodak. I do the baby. Like I'll do the artists that kind of stuck out from the last 6 years, but the bulk of them, like Trippy Red, all Travis Scott, all them, I don't impersonate them, because I'm not really a fan. Not that they're not good. It's just not something I listen to. You know what I'm saying? Like, and even now, I find myself having to force my hand with listening to music because most of the time I just don't listen to it. Like I'll be in the car listening to podcasts or information or whatever because I'm just trying to stay up on what's going on so I don't die walking out in the street. You know what I'm saying?
You need to be informed.
Yeah, I don't care who's licking your gooch. That doesn't matter to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the lyricism isn't on point anymore, is what you're saying.
Yeah, you said what now?
The lyricism is not as on point anymore.
Well, my lyricism is on point.
They're yours, but
yeah, me listening. Yeah, I don't even. I'm just like, man, but I'll do like I could do Meg the Stallions and all of that. The niggas, like the people that are really popping, but don't.
Or they gotta have a distinct voice for you to want to take it on. Is there someone right now that you're like working on that you haven't quite? You don't gotta demonstrate, of course, but is there someone you haven't quite hit yet that you're still working on right now?
Joe Budden. It's the Joe Budden podcast. I'm getting it.
Yeah. That was pretty good.
I'm getting it, but I'm like, when I get it, when I train my vocals to like stay down here, I'll be complete Joe. And the only person I have seen even attempt it, and shout out to him because he kind of took the artistry, put it together, and made it cinematic, was Affion Crockett. I don't know if you saw a Hip Hop Story, but
nah.
Yeah. He did Joe in there, but I was like, all right, cool. Let me do Joe. I've been trying to get, that's one I have been trying to get for years because I've been trying to find the register.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I think finally I'm starting to pin it down.
And I think it helps that he has a podcast that you can hear constantly. So I would be remiss to not mention, you're doing you earlier this month you released the Soapstone Comedy Presents, which is you doing stand-up in the Metaverse. What's that like? That's got to be weird that you're doing do you got the gear on too, or are you also wearing the goggles?
Yeah, you put the headphone, you put the headset on, and you got the hand joints that you in there, and they give you an avatar, and I'm not even gonna lie, my avatar is way sexier than I am in person. It's fine, but hey, look, sex sells. I see what they're trying to do.
Yeah, man.
But you go in there and it's kind of weird at first, but for the most part, once you get that first crack, once you get that first joke and you kind of hear it, you kind of ease up. It's kind of like doing stand-up for the first time, but it's just a different apparatus, and you're hearing laughs, but you're seeing people's avatars like throw up stars and hearts and things. So it's like doing stand-up for The Sims. That's how it is, but it was so innovative and it's so different. I was like, yo, I gotta make sure that I do that. And I mean, the Metaverse pays a lot of money. I'm not even
it's all about that bag, man. You gotta get the bag.
Yes, but it was something different. And look what I got now. I dropped 2 specials in a year. So on different platforms.
Yeah.
And now I'm almost ready to shoot another one. Like it just keeps the train going, man. And if I can gain fans from anywhere and the people love me ubiquitously, no matter what it is, man, and I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to do. You know what I'm saying?
And you are not just doing it, but you're killing it. You're crushing it. And I couldn't be prouder I was never your direct teacher, but you know, I still have love for everyone. Yeah, of course. I think you were in Mrs. Swift's class, I think, with
yes, sir.
when we had that conversation. So
Yep.
and again, to see you blow up right now is it fills me with pride. So I want to, before we go, I want to end on this. You know, this is the Nerds of Color, and we're all nerds. In your Jared special, you had a little story about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle action figures, and I just wonder, is there anything you're collecting right now? Is there something in, like, do you collect toys? Do you collect physical media? What you got in your collection? Oh, Dragon Ball, nice.
That's me as a Dragon Ball character right there. That's a random anime chick, but whatever. That's Goku.
So you got a collection. I got
a whole collection of That's how. Listen, look. I can say this. Look, the weight of my heart is through Dragon Ball, and if you do that, Lord have mercy. I will take care of you the rest of your life, and that's exactly why I got all of these in here. Yeah, she said, "Hey, I know how to get in there." I said, "Yeah." I said, "Shoot, you the one, baby. You the one." So real talk.
You need your anime girl. So that Megan Thee Stallion album must have, like, blew your mind.
You said what happened?
That new Megan Thee Stallion album where she's all about the anime.
You know what? I'm not gonna front, man. Me and Megan would be the perfect match. And
I'm just saying that she just seems to be like, you mentioned the anime and she's like all up in that. So
I dress up as the characters, like, bro, like, I love it. She does too. Doja Cat, I like Doja Cat back in the day, but you know, she don't do us. So it's fine. It's fine. Look, they got the Trump hands.
So you can't help it. You gotta start jacking people off again. But you know what, Jay, again, thank you so much for coming on. I've been wanting to have you ever since you blew up, ever since I started doing this Nerds of Color website. I've been wanting to have a chance to talk to you. So I'm glad that we were able to make it happen. Love to have you come back, talk about Dragon Ball, talk about your collection.
Let's do it.
You know, always repping VA, you know, 757. So I appreciate you.
2 up, 2 down, baby. Hey.
I got my VA shirt on right here.
Hey. Shout out to Pharrell. I say that. Shout out to Pharrell too. You know,
I mean, you know, the 757 got a lot of superstars, and you're one of them.
We do.
You're one of them.
Thank you, man. Thank you, brother.
Right. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Maybe a nerd who's just like you, talking about the things that you like too. So I invite you to the NOC.